I'm Nellie Shudo, and audiences may remember me in the Scorsese films I've done. I've worked with him on 5 projects, mostly Shutter Island. That's what people tend to remember. But I've been an actor since I was 14 years old. I've been in the business for years. What attracted me to the Eclipse of the Truth project was how loaded the script was. I love the idea of the mix of good and evil, the juxtaposition, and not knowing who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. Because at the end of the day, nobody's a complete good guy and nobody's a complete bad guy. It really makes you think deeply about race issues in our nation today. In Eclipse of the Truth, as a white woman, what I see that I feel will influence audiences and help with race relations in our country and the world is the idea that it makes you think. It really makes you think deeply about issues like the Trayvon Martin shooting, issues about cop shootings. It makes you think about the entire issue from different points of view. And it makes you look inside yourself and ask yourself how you feel about this. The character I play in the movie is Marcella, and she's Brenda's boss at the post office. And she has to let her go or put her on leave for a period of time because of what she thinks is possibly a stealing. And she's really a businesslike woman. I think she looks like an evil character initially who has no empathy because she's very businesslike. But I think what she was doing is just following protocol. And it makes you think about that. Very businesslike, very much somebody who really had Brenda's back, but you don't see that at first. And it kind of reminds me of the movie Changing Lanes, one of my favorite movies directed by Sidney Pollack, because in that movie, you have Ben Affleck and Samuel L. Jackson, and you don't know, their lives intertwine in a way that they do in Eclipse of the Truth with these 2 characters, and they each have to look into each other's lives and see where they're coming from. I think the screenplay, Eclipse of the Truth, which is an extremely well-written script, is not predictable at all. And that's what I loved about it. You really don't know what's coming next. And it keeps you on your toes the entire time. There are so many underlying stories that all relate back to the main theme. And it was a page-turner. I couldn't stop reading it. To me, the 2 most moving scenes in the film are when Jabari gets killed. Jabari, this sweet, innocent guy, and yet others don't perceive him that way. But you see the backstory on it and you realize, gosh, this poor kid, of all people, to get killed. And then another scene that I loved is when Reverend Boone is talking to Yvette, the news reporter, just how they kind of get off on each other's duplicitousness. Trent DiGiulio is a fine director, producer, an all-around person in the business, and I've worked with him for actually almost 8 years. He's helped me with CBS projects that I've done in his studio. We worked together on a project called The Tailor, and I really have been impressed with him for years because he knows how to put something together from soup to nuts, literally from the bottom end to the top end or the top end to the bottom end. And that's a quality that a lot of filmmakers don't have today. I absolutely think that Eclipse of the Truth has a chance of being an Oscar winner. I think it has all the things that the Academy loves, these deep characters who are battling serious issues, the way they handle them, the characters, especially Reverend Boone, what an incredible role. And I feel that it's just so deep and every word is precious. There's not a single word that comes out of any character's mouth that is not genuine and not laden with truth. This film has so many sharp edges and angles to it that the word controversy came to mind for me. I realized that it might cause some sort of controversy, but I think that would be a good thing, actually. I think it would be the kind of controversy that makes people think about who they really are at the core of themselves and how they react to things, and how we all need to rethink our thought process on race issues.